Why is it that the social contract in Commander has become one of the most debated topics among the community? Let's take a look. What is up, Commander players? My name is Matt, and you're watching Top Commander. So, on today's episode, I wanted to talk about the social contract, also known as Rule Zero, and why is it becoming one of the most debated topics among the community, especially between players, play groups, and I've seen it turn into some heated discussion. But why is that? What is wrong with this simple concept? That's what I'm here to do today, is just kind of break it down and see if I can shed some light on why people are so heated over this. But before we dive too deep into that, if you wish to support this channel, be sure to like, share, and subscribe as always. And if you wish to support this channel directly, be sure to visit patreon.com/topcommander. But with that out of the way, so to discover what is wrong with the concept of the social contract, we must understand what is the social contract. For those of you who are new players that are curious about what is the social contract and why is it that people debate and argue about what is accepted and what is not accepted with the social contract, let me break it down for you. So the social contract is basically only existent in multiplayer casual formats such as Commander. We do not have a one-on-one league for Commander to go to a Magic Fest tournament and win the World Championships. That's not a thing that happens in Commander. Commander was designed as a more casual format that is designed for people to have fun and enjoy the game in a different setting with a different rule base, obviously. Now, the concept of the social contract was really brought around with an article that came about a while back from the Rules Committee when they discussed what cards are on the ban list, why those cards are on the ban list. And if you look at a lot of cards on the ban list, some of them are pretty similar to cards that are not on the ban list. For instance, Tolarian Academy. Very similar to two other lands that are illegal, Gaia's Cradle and Serra's Sanctum. Of course, there is some debate about which one's more powerful and everything, and I'm not getting into that. You see where this is going. There are certain cards that are not on the ban list, but if you read that article that came out, even Sheldon Menery has a list of cards that he does not like that are not on this list, because the ban list is more of a quote-unquote guideline for what will help foster a really good play experience with a play group to enjoy the format. With that being said, they also said in the article they didn't want to have 200 cards on their ban list, because let's face it, that's probably what the list would actually look like if all of these cards were on the ban list. A lot of them give you so much advantage for card advantage, mana ramp, or some of the things on the ban list also combo off very easily, such as Paradox Engine, which was banned, I believe Paradox Engine was banned about 2 years ago now, maybe more. It's been a while. But so the concept of the social contract was basically, when this article came out, they were basically saying the ban list for Commander is more of a guideline, and using that guideline to foster your own play group and your own play experience is acceptable because Commander is a casual format. It doesn't matter how you play Commander, in the end, it's still a casual format. That's the way it's designed. Now, there's a lot of heated topics about this. Now, when it comes to the social contract, pretty much the most widely accepted version of it, I guess you would call it, is basically no mass land destruction. So no Armageddon or something like that. You're not blowing up all the lands on the field. For the most part, I believe it's like 2 or 3 card combo kills, or just a combo kill that can power out and win before turn 6 or so, or winning on turn 3. That's part of that as well. Along with like discard, like hand destruction, like getting rid of cards out of your opponent's hands, and stacks. Those are pretty, stacks to the point of locking down your opponent where they can't do anything. That's basically the more broad version of it. That's the more widely accepted version. And then you have some players out there that will go as far as taxing, staxing, combo in general, mass land destruction, targeted land destruction, counter spells, hate bears, hand disruption, like discard, and then some of them will go even deeper into that and ban specific cards that are not actually on the ban list. There are play groups that will not play with Sol Ring. There are play groups that ban Cyclonic Rift because these are considered too powerful to some people, that to the extent that they believe that these cards should be banned, when in all actuality most of those cards are not that bad, in my opinion, of course. But now, with all that being said, what is the problem with the social contract? Well, first off, it's subject to change. It comes down to the fact that people are very opinionated. And the problem where this lies is the fact that it leads to the fact that people have their opinions, people are very stubborn, and it leads into arguments. So the concept of saying that we're going to follow the social contract and this is our stipulations, the problem with that lies in the fact that people are now trying to tell others how to play the game. This is not fun. Now, the concept of the social contract is to prevent feel-bads and promote a fun gameplay experience. It's very well intentioned. However, when you get into it, a lot of it is you're agreeing not to play a certain way. But then what if somebody enjoys playing stacks? Okay. Well, if that person enjoys playing stacks and the rest of the players don't, then I guess there needs to be some discussion had. And that's the thing. The social contract is a verbal agreement that is supposed to be a verbal mutual understanding that, hey, this is not fun, we do not like this, let's not play with this and just have fun. A lot of this, you can already see where these issues are coming from. People are stubborn. People don't like to be told no. People are very opinionated. There is a lot of issues with the social contract just in what it is. It's very well intentioned, yes, but there are way too many people out there, because of the fact that it's based on opinion. Not everybody's going to have the same opinion. So then you take a group of like-minded people that enjoy a game, and then you start adding more stipulations. Now you have to be more specific about who you are playing this game with, because all of a sudden the social contract gets lost in translation. And especially when it comes to, let's say your play group has a social contract and everybody's on the same page, and let's say that in your social contract, nobody is allowed to play Sol Ring, Cyclonic Rift, stacks, tax, mass land destruction, things like that. There's some play groups that say no counter spells in general. Well, what happens when somebody from that play group goes and plays at a Magic Fest or Command Fest, if they ever come back? RIP. Thank you, COVID. But in a social setting, when game stores open back up and you can go back and play at your game store does not have may not have a set rule of nobody's allowed to use Cyclonic Rift as just a store ban list or something like that. Now what happens? That person, at least to feel bads, that person is now walking out of there because they didn't have a fun experience, because their playgroup's social contract is not accepted at the store because they basically just play Commander as Commander. A lot of the other side of these arguments come from specifically CEDH community. Now, not all CEDH players. There are a lot of CEDH players, though, that are very opinionated and believe that the social contract is for a bunch of people that are big babies and they need to grow up and learn how to play the game, because, of course, CEDH does have their own social contract. Their social contract is, if it's not on the ban list, it is free to play. I'm able to play this. This is a legal move. I don't care what you say. If you don't like it, run more removal or go somewhere else. That is an issue because now you've opened up the gate for argument. So, there are two sides to this coin, and it doesn't work out as well as people think because of the fact that people want to be opinionated, people want to be stubborn. Let's face it, people just want to be assholes. That's the way that it goes. That is the bottom line. Now, how do we get around this? Well, first off, people need to learn how to actually communicate, and people need to learn how to be more open-minded. Understand that just because you have fun playing at the highest power level, not everybody does. Some people are perfectly happy playing Commander with just a janky Vorthos deck. Does not make them a bad Magic player. That just means that they have a different idea of fun. Not everybody's opinion of fun is the same. When people actually become more open-minded and actually become more accepting of those words, then maybe the social contract would actually work and there would be less feel-bads and less arguments over the social contract. The whole concept is talk. That's it. Talk to your playgroup. There are so many people, every article, every YouTuber, they will basically tell you the same thing. Any podcast or whatever that talks about the social contract will basically tell you the bottom line is talk. Be civil. Stop arguing because you're not getting anywhere. Now you've made the social contract into this, oh my God, everybody's arguing over the social contract. That's not what we need in the community. Stop being that person. If you are that person, you might want to take a second look at the way you act, because it's not like an adult and you might be acting like a 2-year-old. If we want to point fingers talking about, oh, well, they must be big babies because the social contract is for people that don't like the game the way that it is, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're also now acting like a 2-year-old arguing over something really stupid. It's a game. And again, everything is based on opinion. People need to chill out, be civil, be more open-minded, and actually talk it through. There's no reason why the social contract is such a simple concept, a simple idea, with the best intention in mind of fostering a playgroup and promoting fun and preventing feel-bads, because you want to know why there is a social contract, because some people don't want to sit there with a deck that can't run because the player plays Blood Moon and Winter Orb and Static Orb and Stasis and all these stacks pieces, and people don't want to sit there and shuffle up and get together for a game that lasts 2 turns because they combo off. You know, there is a version of fun for everybody. People have to understand. Not everybody is willing to sit down for a game that lasts 2 rounds. Not everybody is wanting to sit down for a game that's going to last 4 hours because of stacks. People have to actually discuss what is acceptable. Now, when it comes to CEDH even has their own social contract, which is, I can do whatever. If it's legal, I can do it. I want to play to the highest power level. Is there a problem with that? No. That's the way you enjoy playing. So what makes it okay for either side to be telling the other that that's not okay? Even in my play group, I just tell them I don't want to play against Blood Moon. That's one of my biggest things. I don't care for Blood Moon. I have decks that I will not play if a Blood Moon hits the table. If there's a Blood Moon in a deck, I'm not playing. I tell them all the time I'm just not wanting to play around one card. That's not fun. And they're like, oh, we'll just run more interaction. Okay, I don't want to run 15 counterspells. And they're like, well, there's always 3 players. That Blood Moon could hurt somebody else at the table. Okay? So, if I don't have it, I gotta hope that they have it. Or you could just not play it, and we could just have an actual game. Instead of trying to shut people out. That's just my opinion. That's where I come from when it comes to certain things. Have I scooped on a game because of Blood Moon? No, I haven't. I've actually scooped on a game with the Blood Moon because they were comboing off, and it was just one of those moments of, okay, yep, we're dead. But let me know what you guys think. What other issues are there with the social contract that you've seen? Have you had this argument with other players before? If so, be sure to let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next video.